We've received quite a bit of interest in my Free to Be workshop, so to that effect, beneath this video is a link that will give you a description for the workshop, and we've also included a special discount. So if that's something you would be interested in, I would invite you to click that link, and I hope that you would find the course to be quite beneficial. One of the hallmark characteristics of narcissism is that they have a deeply embedded sense of insecurity that's masked by their attitude of superiority over other individuals. Whether consciously or subconsciously, they've decided the way that I can feel good about me is to find people who are lower than I am. And as a result, they can't just take you at face value and accept you and engage with you as one equal to another. They're constantly on the prowl trying to find out all sorts of things that are wrong about you. And as a result, they have an easy inclination towards criticism and agitation and irritability. One of the strategies that they've decided, again, consciously or unconsciously, is I can build up my well-being by invalidating you. And the more things I see in you that are no good, the more it allows me to think, well, I'm the best person in the room. And so that's their way of trying to build up a sense of internal security. It's pretty twisted, isn't it? Now, one of the biggest problems that you can make as you are on the receiving end of this invalidation strategy that they have is you can go into a bit of a power play with them. How many times have you found yourself pleading your case, or arguing with them, or trying to give them a counter way of thinking? Quit thinking this way. I'm doing it for this reason, and you try to justify and rationalize. Not a single time is that narcissist going to say, you've given me some good food for thought. I think I'm going to change my ways as a result of what you're saying to me. It's not going to happen. And so when you're on the receiving end of the narcissist's invalidation, there's a secret that I want you to hold on to, and it's once you see it, it's not that hard to figure out how to manage the invalidations that are predictably going to come your way. And that is simply this. You need to go into an attitude of resignation. Now, when I say that, I'm basically saying you want to resign yourself to the fact that the narcissist simply won't change their attitude toward you. They're going to keep coming at you with these kinds of condescending attitudes and behaviors and communications. Now, you can think, well, I don't like that word resignation. When I say resign yourself to the fact that this is what they are, I'm not saying that you should concede defeat. I'm not saying that you lay down your will, and I'm not saying that you declare them to be the keepers of truth. That's not what we're talking about. What we are saying, though, is that you have assessed the nature of the relationship that you have with that person, and you realize that we can just call it a non-relational relationship. These people don't have good insight, and they don't have your best interest in their minds. And as a result, you want to use that insight to basically approach them with one huge phrase, and that is, okay, I get it. I see what's going on. I understand where you're coming from. I can't change it. I get it. Now, there are many different kinds of scenarios where this mindset of resignation can come into play, and I'm going to run through a bunch of them. Now, I want to kind of show what you might say to a narcissist. You don't really have to say this out loud, but in your mind, you might be thinking this when they come at you with their invalidations. Let's go through some of these. In your mind, you might be thinking toward that person, your power behavior reveals deep fears of being irrelevant. You're like a frightened little boy or girl who has never grown up. I get it. Or you might think to yourself towards that narcissist, you think that bullying and forcefulness means I'm supposed to shake in my boots. I don't, but I get it. Or you've built your self-esteem, such as it is, upon insulting others. That's not a very good strategy, but I get it. Somehow or another, my input is invalidated simply because it doesn't align perfectly with your thoughts. Now, in my mind, I like to make room for differing thoughts and ideas. That way we can learn, but I get it. You actually take delight when you are able to demean my character. And I know that I'm better than that, but I get it. Your anger is petulant and ill-conceived and poorly communicated. Clearly, you're not interested in two-way dialogue. I get it. You want me to wither and fade into nothingness. That's not going to happen. But I get it. You think that I'm supposed to bend to your wishes and forget my right to free choices? I'm sorry that you think that way, but I get it. Whatever IQ you have, whatever skills you may possess, and you may have good IQ and you may have strong skills, I understand that they're processed through a filter of low emotional intelligence, low EQ. And so with all of the intelligence and skills that you have, there's not that relational element that's strong. I get it. Now, you may assume sometimes that you can destroy me by running a smear campaign against me. And while I'm not very pleased with that kind of approach, you're not going to destroy me. My good character is going to stand on its own, and over time, people who matter are going to be able to see it. I get it. I resign myself to the truth that I'm unable to cause you to be anything other than the invalidating person that you are. Now, in the meantime, my opinion of myself is not filtered through you, but I know you don't get it. I actually pity your inhumane way of treating a fellow human. Where did you come up with that kind of thought? But you don't get it. I have every intention to follow my instincts, to live with my common sense leading the way, but I understand you don't get it. You've become a deep disappointment to me, and that's something I'll have to grieve and adjust to, but you don't get that. I've learned to filter your predictable complaints and criticisms, much like I filter out background noise, but you don't get it. I've concluded that you're the one who loses, not me, when you reject the decency that I bring to the relationship, but you don't get it. My boundaries, my stipulations, my principles will remain intact, and when you come against me predictably, I'll remind myself, you don't get it. I'd truly like to connect with you. I'd like to have mutual regard, but I am resigned. You're not capable of connecting at the heart level. And frankly, I'm spent. From here on out, I'm going to invest my time with people who do get it. And I want to invest my time with people who get me. See, one of the things that we want to stand for is we look at the pattern of narcissism with all of that control and harshness. We want to see it as a pitiable pattern of life that says this is somebody who has not figured out life very well. As much as you'd like to speak into it and you realize, okay, they don't want my input, I get it. I'm hoping that you can see what you're up against, and rather than tangling in a very non-productive way with that, I'm hoping you can walk away thinking, I'm going to have my sense of well-being that's built from the inside out, not from the outside in. And as a result, when these individuals feel the need to build themselves up at my expense, my response is going to be, you're messing with the wrong person. I don't have to go into high combative mode. I get it. You're not somebody that's going to understand me. I'm moving on, and I'm sticking with the people that are on Team Healthy. Now, I do hope that videos such as this will give you some good insight with respect to what you're dealing with and how you can respond. If you've not already done so, I would encourage you to hit that subscribe button, and when that comes up, hit that bell. In addition, we have our membership. that allows you to have access to our live feeds on Wednesday. I do mine on Wednesdays, and Laura does hers on Mondays, where we actually go into Q&A kinds of sessions with you and answer specific questions that you have. It's pretty cool. And in addition, we have some extra videos and all with it. So hit that join button and see where that'll take you. In addition, it may be that you'll need some, you'll have the thought that says, I'd like to have some counseling. I know some of you are hurting because of these relationships. If you have someone in your area that would be able to help you in that regard, I would encourage you to take advantage of that. If you don't have that availability, we have a sponsor that provides online counseling. There are many licensed professional counselors who are experienced, and there's a link below that can take you toward that. I would encourage you to get the help that you need. In addition, we have my Free to Be course. It's a very extensive course that talks about how you can thrive in the midst of the controllers in your life. We have links to my books and all under there, lots of resources. Narcissists don't get it. They've got all these twisted ways of building their self at someone else's expense, but I'm hoping that you do get it. And you understand that here on this channel, we stand for dignity, respect, and civility. And I want you to lean into those characteristics for all it's worth. And in doing so, I hope that you're able to find a pattern of life that's built on stability and that you're able to reside inside of peace.